I'm Dynamic Studios, and I'll be your guide for you today. What you just listened to was a personal story of mine. My breakup happened recently, so it's still somewhat fresh in my mind. Through the chaos of despair and disorder, I've learned a lot of things, and that's where I'll reveal my vulnerability to you. I know you are reeling and suffering like me before, but brother, I'm here today to make it a bit more bearable. For you. Before I dish out any advice, I must disclose some context of my past relationship. It began in the shroud of grief and sorrow amidst the passing of a mutual friend. In the following days, we were there for each other and grew to trust one another. And less than a week after that, I asked her out to prom, and she said yes. And after much deliberation with my family and friends, I asked her out to be my first girlfriend a couple weeks after that. We then embraced to celebrate the beginning of a new relationship. And note that I had 3 dreams when it came to being in a relationship. Number 1, she waits at the end of a race to hug me. Number 2, we exercise together as a team. And number 3, we watch a movie together. I'm proud to declare that all 3 of them came true. Later, I attended her game and surprised her for prom side. And a minute after that, we kissed for the first time. We then went on extraordinary adventures at prom and my graduation. We both knew we were imperfect and had issues, but that's what made it genuine. The upcoming summer proved ripe for the newfound opportunities to spend quality time with each other. The first half, at the very least. On the last day we hung out, everything seemed perfect, as she was delighted to spend the day with me. But when everything is in order, that's when the chaos strikes. You've already heard about the immediate aftermath in the beginning. Let me explain how I went through hell and back and guide you through the suffering. After the initial shock wears off, the feelings will sink in the day after the breakup. Let it hurt. Allow yourself to feel the pain. This is the first step to healing. You may grieve and harbor emotions of sorrow, shame, anger, confusion, and more. Give yourself a week to mourn, and during this week, write a letter to your ex every day. Don't send her them, but write out all of your feelings and thoughts about the whole situation as much as you want. At the end of this week, dispose of them without rereading them. Jotting out your emotions on a piece of paper feels utterly liberating, as they're not stuck inside your head anymore. Since your letters will be gone, you're telling yourself that it happened, but it's behind you. Now that's what you should do in dealing with grief. But let me explain what you shouldn't do. Barely a week after the breakup, I attended a party knowing damn well that my ex was going to be there. Why did I go? I intended, well, it's in the past. Plus, I will not let her control whether I go someplace or not because of her. While the purpose may be good intention, don't fall for it. The road to hell is paved with good intentions for a reason, because when I saw her there, I initially felt exhilarated leaving the party and confronted my fears. But when it struck 2 hours later, I felt lonely that she seemed to have fun without me, like she never cared about me at all. It got so bad I had an explosive mental breakdown. So, if you know where your ex will be, please, for the love of God, don't go. It only pushes a knife deeper into your heart when you're already healing. In this period of newfound chaos, you'll need to select 3 core variables to push you out of drowning in the darkness. After selecting them, ranked from most to least in importance to understand which one is the most effective in dealing with it. And keep it simple to one word. For example, my list was number 1, God, number 2, family, and number 3, gym. Now these values can't be too specific or too broad. As an illustration, the gym covers all physical exercise and is not just relegated to a singular gym. Lifting weights, running, hiking, and even taking a brisk walk are all excellent examples. When you exercise, your brain releases endorphins, or feel-good chemicals, which helps you cope with your heartache. Another one is family. Family can mean anyone, whether it's your immediate family or friends. Unfortunately, a hard pill to swallow in life is you'll discover who genuinely cares about you when your life darkens. Personally, the only people who were there for me were my family. In my case, blood is thicker than water. However, that's not true for everyone, nor do I claim it is. Family is whoever is there for you when your life is at its lowest point. And last, but the most important for me, is God. Now, God represents spirituality along with purpose and meaning to get past the suffering. It doesn't matter if you believe in Him or not. Finding your purpose in the agony is the key to getting past life's most significant troubles. Without it, you'll be spiraling in circles and succumbing to addictions, desperately attempting to numb the pain. Meditating during various mental health sessions, such as deep breathing, helped ease a little of my anguish for me. Praying to the Lord also released much of the tension inside my head, as confessing my self-destructive thoughts to someone else felt relieving. So do this for me. Search for your purpose in this world. It'll give you the meaning of your suffering and that it wasn't done in vain. How do you do this? Find out what gives you fulfillment, whether it's serving others, becoming the best version of yourself, or enjoying life's little wonders. Remember this, you have a choice. Either let the past swallow you up in a path of self-destruction, or let it teach you the journey of self-improvement. It's up to you. It's easy to lose yourself and fume rage at your ex who dumped you. But the more resentment, hate, and torment you throw at her, the worse it gets. You're thinking more about it in a negative light, as you rightfully should, but the more you think about it at all, the worse you feel. Getting mad and staying mad should only be used as motivation to achieve a goal like beating your personal record bench press or finishing your distance run. Ironically, being compassionate and forgiving for her trespassing against me gave me the most inner peace than anything else. Serenity sweeps you off your feet when you become grateful for your shared memories. On a side note, the reason she broke up with me, or so she says, was that there was some stuff going on in her life and there wasn't room for a relationship, and as she'll be busy during school. Stepping into her shoes gives a greater understanding of why it happened and why it perhaps was the best possible choice. Of course, this doesn't solve the emotional fallout, but equips you better to deal with it. However, to have this mindset of forgiveness, you must be as level-headed as possible and not let emotions cloud your better judgment. How do you achieve this? Once again, try to meditate to keep your thoughts in order, or go on a hike through nature and give yourself inner peace. Refrain from using any technology during these times unless it's for emergencies, as it can inhibit your mind from thinking clearly. Above all, let time do the work. Looking back a month later, I realized that despite my ex dumping me for the reasons stated before, it may have been my fault it ended because a few days beforehand, we had our first but brief argument. During this dispute, I made her cry. Realizing that you're the reason she is crying makes you want to vomit. It's honestly one of the worst feelings you can ever feel. While we did hang out one more time after that, I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back. So what did I do after this startling, perceived discovery? I texted her an apology that boiled down to me apologizing for my thoughts in the relationship, being grateful for being her in my life at one point, and wishing her well. I was starting college and wanted to make amends and make peace with those I cared about, whether it was my high school friends or my ex. Unfortunately, she left me unread. Even though I expected it, at least she saw it. Now, don't contact your ex unless you have a valid reason to do so. I personally believe apologizing for your blunders in a relationship you committed against her is acceptable. Don't apologize if you did nothing wrong, and especially don't if you aren't sincere in your intentions, as she can tell whether you're genuine in your apology. Above all, forgive yourself. Don't excuse what you did, but accept responsibility and comprehend why you did them. Apologizing when you're in the wrong and trying to make it right is one of the manliest things you can do. It's also one of the most effective ways to put the past behind you and look forward to your future. I hope that I've helped you in finding peace with your breakup. But I must say that I'm still young and that I've yet to carry more life advice. So take my guidance as mere recommendations to assist you in your voyage to find yourself. And here's all I have to say to end this. I am so sad that I don't have her anymore. But I'm so grateful that she was with me on my journey. And I know what I have to do now. I gotta keep breathing. Because tomorrow, the sun will rise. Who knows what the tide could bring?